Alrighty, everybody. It is Tuesday, June 24th, and I just want to say I don't often use hate, you know, hate or anger or anything like that as a motivator to do things. Whatever it is, whether it's working out, going to the gym, getting an assignment done, studying for a test, whatever it is in my life, I don't use hate or anger as a motivator very often, if ever. But today's an exception to that. Today's an exception to that because the hate is justified. It's I know that's what everyone says every time they come out with some hate. They're like, "All right, I know all the other times people did hating, that wasn't okay. That wasn't justified. That was just people being crazy. This time it is justified, but this time I'm fucking serious. Fucking about it, dude. I am so full with hate right now. It's getting my dick hard. Like that's maybe not fully hard, maybe just a twitch here or there, but that's how much hate I have in my body and just like pain, dude. I'm finally understanding like those weird BDSM fucking freaks because I'm just filled with pain. The way my arms itch right now and the way they look, quite honestly, I might be patient zero for some sort of disease. That's how I'm looking like right now. If you don't know, I am chigger bit the fuck up. That's why this episode is about chiggers. I'm gonna try to calm it down with saying that I'll just call them chigs. I feel like that's we're we're preventing a potential disaster. You know what I mean? That's a nice safety precaution. That's like, look, I do know how to swim, but if I'm going out on the open ocean, I'm gonna be wearing a life jacket. Okay, and so we're just gonna be calling. We're not gonna be calling them by their full name. Their formal. I don't even. That's not even their formal name. We're not gonna be calling them by their full name. We're just gonna be calling them chigs, and especially just because. Sorry, I had to throw in this in real quick. Just just because of how many times we're gonna be saying it too, and it's just ripe for a slip up. And we got a few words in here. Another type of annoying little insect that very easily. It's a different type of slip up, but it could very easily happen. But I'm like so filled with hate for chiggers right now. Like I feel like I'm going insane. Like that's how bad this that's how bad this shit itches. Like I was saying yesterday, I was like doing laundry and I was like pointer finger like looking over every single like centimeter of my sheets being like, is this fucking fleas? No, it's chiggers, dude. It's the worst ones. And I've had them before, but mostly around like my ankles and stuff, right? Cuz they like to burrow in like warm, wet, dark places, which is like I'm a bigger dude. I'm not too fat, but I'm definitely I have a large body. I'm big boned, right? And I know that's what every fat person from middle America says, but for me it's true. I am just like a big guy. And so I do have a few warm, dark crevices that they could have, went in there and bit the fuck up, but no, they decided to bite it all over my arms. I look like a depressed 14-year-old girl right now. See, I look like a girl who half of hair is green and the other half is like purple or some shit. Like it's all over my wrists. My wrists are gonna be covered in fucking scars. Right? I might have to become a fan of like My Chemical Romance or something, just based on how many fucking scars I'm gonna have on my wrist. Probably not. I'm probably just freaking the fuck out, but it itches so bad. It's like this is gonna last forever. Like yesterday, seriously, I was I was like at Walmart with my mom, and I was just like so fucking mad. But it's like I try not to itch the bites, right, because that's just gonna make it worse, and it's gonna like fuck up your skin and stuff. So I try not to itch them, and so I consciously I've figured out a way to like ignore the itching, but it's still like it still permeates my body and like takes advantage of my brain and like fucking fucks with my emotions and just makes me pissed off. So when I was at fucking Walmart with my mom yesterday, I was full on Hassan Piker, fucking edge lord. Fuck the corporations. Fuck the corporations too. By the way, yeah. When that guy got killed, I was like, yeah. I mean, did that guy not think he was going to get killed? I'm talking about the United Healthcare CEO, but that's what I was like, dude, yesterday. Because, and I just am now like figuring it out today that I was like, oh no, I was just really fucking pissed off, dude. That's why I wanted to kill the CEO of Walmart. that's why, that's why I wanted to kill Jeff Bezos, dude. It was the chigger bites. Look, do they deserve to die? I mean, probably, yeah. Right? Their participation in society has been really for the most part a detriment. I understand that you get your fucking shampoo or your bikini quicker than you normally would without Amazon, but overall, I would say Amazon has not been a positive force on the United States of America and really the globe as a whole. Same with Walmart. Walmart is the same thing, right? And I figured it out what they're doing too, because I was just so angry about it. But even when I'm angry, I'm still like thinking, right? It's not rational thought because I'm angry, obviously, but I'm still like thinking. Like when people talk about having a blind rage or whatever, I I that never happens to me. Like even when I'm really sad, like even when my dog died recently, I was still like just thinking about. I don't know, my brain, it just never shuts off, and it's like I've said before, it's the most annoying thing on earth because it's not like I'm figuring out how to make like a general purpose quantum computer. I'm like literally just like Tits kind of sounds like that guy's last name. That's pretty funny. Like that's what's going in on inside my brain like at all times. It's just constantly like, yeah, that guy's name kind of sounds like boobs. Isn't that funny? That guy's bald and his head like kind of looks like a tit or like a ball or something. Like that's what I'm thinking about. I'm not like thinking rationally about anything. I'm not like, how can we get to Mars? That's not what's going on in there. Just me thinking about balls or tits. But and yeah, and I was just thinking about like Amazon and Walmart, and I figured it all out. It's always the Standard Oil play. And if you don't know, Standard Oil it was the company that was founded by John D. Rockefeller, and it's considered like the first monopoly in America. And basically, what John D. Rockefeller did with Standard Oil is he came in, undercut everybody, right? Like all these local oil producers, he undercut them because he had this big, massive business, and so he was able to sell oil for cheaper. And then once all those guys went out of business, he would like buy up their land and shit, and then he would just jack up the prices. And I feel like that's what Walmart's doing, dude. And this is the thought that caused it, or like the event that caused that thought. A peach is 97 cents, dude. What are we fucking doing here, dude? That's like some 1930s type of price. That's like some Great Depression fucking type of prices, dude. Like back in like the 30s and shit when my great grandparents were alive, that a peach would be like your Christmas gift. And that's what we're going fucking back to. We're going back to like the Great Depression when you would get like an orange and a banana for your fucking birthday and you'd like have to fight for your life to not get it stolen from you. Like that's the time period we're fucking going back to here. Because Walmart, I don't even know what their game plan. I mean, I don't even know how they like got that game plan in the first day. I guess because they sell everything. Like that does rule about Walmart. I'm not gonna lie. I do buy most of my shit from Walmart because it's super cheap and stuff. But we know what they're doing here. We know they're just trying to like run out as many businesses as possible so that then they basically replace all those businesses and then jack up the price. It's what they're gonna do. It's what they're already doing. Like everyone blames it on inflation. They're like, "Oh, it's Biden's fault that the oranges are $2 a piece." And it's like, "No, it's not. Walmart just wants to make $80 trillion a year." Look, yeah, is the country being run poorly? 100%, but it's not it's not the fault of Congress or the president or whatever. No, it's whoever the fuck the shareholders of Walmart, whoever the fuck owns Walmart wants to be able to have like 18 beach houses that they never visit. That's why your groceries cost so much money. It's not Joe Biden or Donald Trump. Joe Biden can't even make a fucking sandwich, dude. Do you think that guy can make a policy that's going to affect the entire United States? He can't do it, dude. you know? Same with Trump. Trump couldn't even get the fucking ceasefire. The ceasefire lasted like 11 minutes or some shit, dude. These guys aren't creating these policies that are going to do this shit. It's private companies. And that's what fucking Walmart is doing. You know what I mean? Someone wants a beach house in every little shitty fucking island nation in the Caribbean, and now my oranges cost $18 a piece. It's not it's partly the politicians. The politicians probably are receiving money to turn a blind eye to it, but it's not like an active thing on their part, right? Like Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez doesn't give a fuck if Walmart makes it doesn't matter to her, right? That wouldn't affect her life in any way, shape. None of these people care how much money Walmart makes. You know what I mean? They just get like $1 million from Walmart, and then Walmart's like, "Hey, don't fucking tell us what to do," and they're like, "Give me another million." And I won't. And I can't even blame them. I can't blame them. Like everyone, always criticizes like all these politicians for taking money from like Israel and like embezzling money in Ukraine and shit like that. I can't even blame them, dude. Like you want me to be mad at them? I would be doing the exact same thing. That's like the American spirit. Everyone, if you're an American and you're not trying to figure out how to steal money right now, then you're not in America. You should have your citizenship revoked and you should go back to whatever shithole country you came from, or whatever shithole country your ancestors came from. Because as an American, your number one priority should be figuring out how to embezzle money or steal money from someone. That should be your goal. If you're like an accountant working at a corporation right now, start cooking those books, dude. Turn into Bobby Flay. Do a little fucking Gordon Ramsay trick on those books. Start cooking them and steal, $10,000 a year or whatever the fuck you're trying to cook up, dude. If you want to be an American, that should be question number one on the American citizenship test. If you work at any company, even if you work for yourself, dude, like if you work for yourself too, figure out a way to embezzle that money. There has to be a way if you're working for yourself to embezzle money, to steal money from yourself. That should be question number one on the citizenship test, dude. You're a little fucking 5'4" Mexican who walked 1,000 miles in sandals made out of tires, and you finally crossed the border and you did it, you somehow got in and you got it legally, you got a visa or a green card or something, and now you're taking the citizenship test and you go down, you plump your fucking, little short little stubby hamster legs down on that chair, you whip out that pen. Question number one, only question on the test, dude. How will you embed, not even how will you do it, right? Because having a plan, having like a full on like a 10-year plan, that's very un-American. It should be just a spur of the moment decision that you decide to do one day to start stealing from your company, and you should be doing it, right? It's the company's stealing from you and then you steal from, it's an ecosystem of stealing. That's what people don't understand about this country. It's all just like this big ecosystem of stealing. The government steals your money, the corporations steal your money. Fuck it. What why wouldn't you steal from them too? Just keep that ecosystem going. That's why things are getting fucked up nowadays. With technology and all this shit, every single dollar that comes out of like an account or whatever that goes into account can be like tracked and shit. And it's making it harder for like the common man to steal. It's making it harder for an accountant, to make an extra couple grand a month from stealing from his boss. And that's why the country is collapsing. The country's collapsing because it's getting so much harder to steal, dude. Like back in the day, now fucking Walmart has like AI cameras that can track your every move and stuff, and it's like, damn, I can't even get fucking paper plates for free anymore. I can't even steal the paper plates that I've been stealing for my entire life. Like that's a problem, dude. The ecosystem of stealing, an apex predator, an invasive species has been introduced to the American ecosystem of stealing, and it's fucking everything up. I don't know what that invasive species is. Actually, I do know. It's tracking. It's the surveillance state. The surveillance state is like the fucking, what are those? The Burmese pythons in the Florida Everglades. Like that's what the surveillance state is. It's fucking with the ecosystem. It's making it so hard to like just, it's making it hard for like the common man to steal. Like nowadays, if you want to steal, you have to be like a pretty professional criminal. Unless you got like a real nice setup going on. Like some people, they got like a good setup going on where it's like they're just taking it a little bit under the table, right? Like if you work for, trying to like maybe like a factory or something, you're taking a few things from that factory or whatever. If you're working or if you're doing retail or something, you're stealing a little bit from there. That's a little bit easier to do, but I mean it's just so hard for the everyman to steal nowadays. It's impossible. We've created a system based on stealing, and now the everyman can't steal it. It's so hard. It's so hard for us to steal now, dude. No one can steal anything anymore. It's just like these big, powerful corporations stealing from everybody, dude. And that's what I think we need to address, dude. If I was the president, that would be the first thing I brought up at, the debate or the primary or whatever. Like if I was running for president, I'd be like, dude, fuck the health, whatever's going on there. Fuck getting these corporations under control. I need to find a way to let every man steal again. You know what I mean? I need, because it's too expensive. It's too expensive not to steal. Like that's the other thing about it. Oh, stealing is morally wrong. Yeah, it's also morally wrong to make food way too expensive, right? It's also morally wrong to never let anyone be able to buy a house again. So like what do you want me to do? It's morally wrong to have a fucking, a family of 4 have to spend $200 on groceries a week. That's morally wrong. So I mean, you gotta steal. It's too expensive not to steal anymore, dude. If you have any moral holdups about it, come talk to me. I'll figure, or just do cognitive dissonance, dude. Just fucking be like, Yeah, I steal, but also I believe stealing is right. Just do it, dude. You're a fucking American, you know what I mean? You're a good Catholic man. Just have that cognitive dissonance and start stealing shit again, dude. That's make America steal again, dude. Massa. We're talking about Chiggers and I'm talking about Massa this episode, but fuck it. Make Americans steal again. Or let Americans steal again. Just let us steal, dude. Just come on. You're making it too hard, dude. The only people that can steal anymore are like meth heads who have nothing going for them in life. You know what I mean? Like now if I want to steal, my face is going to get like a perfect 3D scan, like a biometric scan of my face is going to get done by Walmart or whatever because I took some cups. It's some bullshit. And everything has like those electronic tags on it. So if you want to just put it in your pocket real quick and walk out, dude, it's like I'm trying to steal some Lay's potato chips and a fucking, you know what I mean, the fire alarm starts going off. You know, a SWAT team comes out from behind the deli counter and like throws me up against the wall. You steal these barbecue Lay's chips? No, I don't know how to bun me. They're like full on. This is what we're gonna see, dude. And this is yeah, it's like George Floyd. George Floyd. That's my main problem with the whole George Floyd incident. It's not that he whatever the political motives behind it, whatever people want to fucking say, it's not the fact that he was brutally murdered in the street, which is objectively what happened. Whatever you think about it, whether it was like set up or not, whether it was like orchestrated to like cause all this, upheaval, this civil unrest in America, whatever you think about it, he was brutally murdered in the street. Like the funny thing about that is there are like I like the George Droid memes if you've never seen those. It's like AI videos of like Joe Biden and Bill Gates talking about how they're going to make a cyborg George Floyd with like a Fent reactor in him. And like that comes from the idea that like George Floyd was overdosing on fentanyl, which is the most insane thing I've ever heard. Like that's not how that works, right? Like he was like on the ground screaming. It's like when a person overdoses on opioids, you know what they do? They lay on the ground and they fall asleep and they never wake up again. That's how it goes when you overdose on like fentanyl or heroin or oxycontin or whatever. You just go to sleep and you never wake up again. Right? And people still blame it on the fent, dude. It's like that's what a fent overdose looks like. A dude screaming on the ground. That's what happens. Yeah, I've seen it before, dude. Every single fentanyl overdose. That's exactly what happens. No, they fall asleep and just never wake up again. So I always thought that was funny. People, he overdosed on fentanyl. I don't think you know what that is. I don't think you know what fentanyl is. But anyway, my problem with the whole George Floyd thing is this fucking narc, this dumbass little dweeb freaked the fuck out over like a fake check or a fake $20 bill, whatever the fuck it was. And it's like, dude, you're un-American. Like that's a very un-American thing to do. And I'm not one of these people that it's like the working class needs to stick together or whatever. I'm not fucking Hassan Piker or whatever. But like, dude, you're not an American if you're not, letting people steal from your retail job. You know what I mean? Like unless you own the business, it's like fuck it, let them steal from that dude. Like when I worked at Lowe's, they were like you shouldn't be chasing people out of the store. You should just like calmly talk to them if they're trying to steal something and like hold them there until the police come. And it's like, dude, I'm not even doing that. I don't care if this guy steals if he fills a shopping cart full of DeWalt batteries and sprints out of this. It doesn't matter to me. I don't give a fuck, dude. It's the way the world goes, dude. You're stealing from me. You're not paying me enough to do the job that I'm doing, you know? It's like, fuck it. You're stealing from me. I'm gonna let this other guy steal from you, and then I'm also gonna steal from you. It's a big ecosystem of stealing, and I think that's what we as Americans need to understand, and that's how we need to move forward. How can we let people steal? Not let them steal too much. You know what I mean? And not let them steal from like the people too much, right? Like if an individual is stealing from another individual, that's a problem. But if he's stealing from like Palantir or whatever, I don't give a fuck, dude. I don't give a fuck if you're stealing from BlackRock or whatever, because BlackRock is already stealing from me. But that rule does kind of come undone if you steal from someone and then someone steals back from you. But that's we got to get a good stealing setup going. It can't be, every man for himself. I'm gonna steal, my neighbor's lawnmower or whatever. No, you can't be doing that. You got to be stealing from these big ass companies or the government. You have to steal from people that are organizations, groups that are already stealing from you, right? Like the government steals your money and gives it all to Israel. So it's like, fuck it, you got to figure out a way to steal from the government. That's kind of more of a tall order, but you can do what I call passive stealing. Some people call it, what's the term? Quiet quitting. But I call it passive stealing. Go get a nice government job and just don't do any work at all. Like that's the other game plan you can run there. Is just passively steal from them. You know what I mean? Get like an online remote government job, never show up to it, and then have another actual job. Then you got two fucking incomes, dude. You're basically like a gay couple. You got two incomes, no kids, and things are getting nice and set up for you. We gotta figure out ways to steal that aren't just like outright going into places with guns and stuff. We can't be doing that. You can't have the violence in the stealing. The most violent thing you should do when you're stealing is like running real quick from like the old dude at Walmart who checks your receipt. Like that's the most active you should be when you're stealing. And that's a problem. That's the problem that most people, you know, it's the problem facing stealing in America right now. It's just the stealing is way too violent, right? It's like a group of like 20 kids will run into like a fucking Gucci store and like grab a bunch of shit and run out real quick. We can't have that type of steal. Just like passively steal from people. Just passively. If someone confronts you, right, like the self-checkout at Walmart, be like, I'm not a fucking cashier, all right? Sorry I didn't perfectly scan everything. Sorry I didn't scan a single thing in my shopping cart and then walked out. You know what I mean? You got to do that. You got to figure out ways to passively steal. And that's a big thing that I don't think a lot of people understand. A lot of people don't understand, we live in a system of stealing. It's this perfect ecosystem. It's this, Amazon rainforest. It's this jungle. It's not a concrete jungle. It's a fucking stealing jungle. It's a fucking jungle of thieves. That's what we live in. And it's not violent stealing either. It's very passive stealing. If you want to do violent stealing, that's fine, but you got to go to like Africa or some shit for that. You can't be doing that in America. You want to go to South Sudan and do, violent stealing, that's fine. But you can't be doing that in America. That's where things start to get fucked up a little. You probably shouldn't be doing that in South Sudan either because there's nothing really to steal there. Like South Sudan is like the poorest, shittiest fucking country on earth. They don't have like any paved roads. They don't have like internet and shit, so there's nothing really to steal there. But if you want to do violent stealing, you kind of have to go like full force into it. You know what I mean? It's like you can't be doing that in America. You can't be living in this system that's safe and then doing violent stealing. You have to do violent stealing in a violent place, if that makes sense. It's like you have to adapt to the system that you live in. And it's just what you got to do. America, it has to be like a nice passive stealing. If you live in Brazil or somewhere like that, yeah, you can fucking hold a dude up at gunpoint. No big deal, because that's just what Brazil is. You're living in Brazil, someone's going to get held up at gunpoint sooner or later. But you can't be doing that in America. You got to do nice passive stealing. Just nice fucking, cut your grocery bill in half by, only scanning half the things in your cart. Go to work and don't do anything. Sit on your phone. Trade crypto at work all day. Trade stocks at work all day. Don't be doing your job at work. When you're at work, you shouldn't be making money by working at your company. You should be making your money doing something else because the company's going to pay you whether you work or not. So if they fire you, fuck them. Just go get another job and lie there. Just be like, yeah, the last place I left, it wasn't really for me. I felt like I was, outperforming everyone there. That's what you should do if your company catches you, not working ever. Just go apply at another place and steal from there until you get fired again. It's what you've got to do, dude. It's the system we live in. You're not gonna get a fucking, the loan that your grandfather got in terms of like buying a house or going to college or you're not gonna be able to do it like he did it. You're gonna have to passively steal. Passively steal. Keyword passively. You can't be, you know what I mean? Can't be doing all that, right? Like if your work is everyone's getting new computers and they're getting rid of the old computers and like selling them off or whatever, take a couple of those things. Like that's the type of shit I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Not going into your boss's office with a gun and stealing his fucking inkjet printer or whatever. I'm talking about just a nice, you know what I mean? The dudes come in and they're handing out the new laptops and you see they got the old laptops in the corner. You're like, I'm gonna take a few of those. You know what I mean? Like that's what you got to be doing. You got to be passively stealing. Going to Walmart, not scanning everything, or you scan the wrong thing and be like, "Oh, my bad. They don't know how this works. I've never been a cashier before." Just play a dumb American. And for most of us, you're not playing a part there. You are a dumb American. So just figure out where you can passively steal from, get your money up, and just keep it nice and calm. Don't get too violent. Don't be telling everyone what you're doing either, right? Like that's just trashy. You can't be doing that. Steal with class. When you're stealing, steal with class. Be nice and quiet about it. Don't go out, and fucking get whatever for your car, right? Don't put fucking flames on your car or whatever. Just be nice passive stealer. Just whatever you were gonna buy with your money, buy that with the money that you stole. And so I think that's what we need to do. You can't be a big, gaudy, flashy stealer, a violent stealer. You need to be a passive stealer that spends your money smartly. And as long as you do that, you're going to be set. And I think that's what people need to figure out. That's what I need to figure out. But the hardest part about stealing in America nowadays is it's so hard to get a job. It's so hard to get a job, and once you get that job, it's like, fuck, dude, I don't want to steal from this job because it took me 6 months and 1,000 fucking applications to get that job. So I do understand the lack of stealing. Like I'm saying, the surveillance state, it's everywhere. They track every single fucking movement you do. They listen to every single word, or they don't listen to every single word. They pay a fucking Indian 2 cents an hour. They have like an AI chatbot listen to every single word you say, but you got to figure it out. It's just something. It's a challenge. It's the modern challenge of Americans. It's the biggest challenge that Gen Z is facing. It's like, how can we steal with some level of ethics and do it quietly enough so that we can get away with it? Like, that's the problem that Gen Z is facing nowadays. And that's like the answer also to the problem. It's like, once you figure out that problem, once you figure out how to steal, then all the other problems start to go away. It's like, how am I going to pay off my college loan? It's like, well, I know how to steal, so I'm just going to pay it off with the shit that I stole. Right? How am I ever going to be able to afford a house or rent or whatever? Pay it off with the shit you stole. It's what you got to do. This is my Reaganomics, you know what I mean? It's not trickle down or trickle up economics. It's I'm stealing from you economics, dude. It's independent learning economics. Like that's the setup. That's the plan we got going on here. Got to figure out how to steal, and we also got to figure out a way to eliminate chiggers, dude. I know that they're doing that shit with like mosquitoes and stuff, and I do understand why they're prioritizing mosquitoes over chiggers, because the mosquitoes like spread all the worst diseases. Like all the fucking worst diseases for the most part come from mosquitoes. I think Zika virus, malaria. I don't know about Ebola. I'm gonna look that up real quick if mosquitoes can carry Ebola. But Ebola is like a man-made disease. I'm sure it kills the mosquito instantly. But can mosquitoes carry Ebola? It's an important question, dude. And the other thing is spread HIV. There's no evidence that mosquitoes can transmit HIV. Yeah, probably because HIV was made in a lab. Ebola. That's what I'm worried about here. There's no evidence that mosquito. Okay. So for the man-made diseases, I guess they can't spread those, but look, you got to look out. And most of those things do exist in the tropics, so I understand why they're trying to do that there, but I think chiggers are next up on the list, dude. Because mosquitoes, I don't know if I'm a big target for mosquitoes. I know they prefer like certain blood types to others. Maybe I have the blood type that they don't like drinking, you know what I mean? Or they can like feel the fucking like just all the shit that's constantly pumping through my veins, right? All the corn syrup and high fructose corn syrup and red number 40 dye that's constantly pumping through my veins. Maybe they can detect that. And maybe that's the upside of microplastics, right? Every dark cloud has a silver lining. Microplastics being in literally everything, being in blood and shit, being in your brain constantly. The upside of that is it's probably going to kill a lot of mosquitoes in the process, right? Like if everyone's blood is filled with fucking, gasoline and microplastics or whatever, I feel like that would kill a mosquito pretty quickly. Like me, I'm a big boy, you know what I mean? I got some extra muscle, some fat that can absorb those microplastics and stuff, so it's not going to kill me. But like a dumb little mosquito, I feel like that would kill it pretty quick. So we got to look at the upsides with the microplastics and, jet fuel being in breast milk and stuff. Might kill the mosquitoes. Probably won't kill the mosquitoes, but hey, who knows? Could take a few of those skeeters out, But I think chiggers have to be next up on that list because I mean the itchiest bites. It's by far the most itchy. I get a little bit of an itch from a tick, you know, especially if you pull it out before it fully embeds in itself. Do get a bit of itch from that. Mosquitoes, a bit of itch, not a whole ton. You know, and I have some weird bite on my neck right now. I might have got bitten by. This doesn't feel like the rest of the chigger bites that are literally blanketing my arms. This feels like a spider or something. Like it's a big. I might have got brown recluse, dude. I might have got a bite from a black widow, and I'm not talking about a 70-year-old African American woman. I'm talking about a spider here in this situation. It bit me, got me nice and good. I don't know if it's that though, but it's super dry, and I've been putting moisturizer and stuff on it. It doesn't itch too bad, and that's the thing, dude. If you get a bug bite on your neck, you can't itch it, dude, because that's how you look. Fucking, if you're like itching your arms and stuff or your legs or whatever, that kind of looks reasonable. But if you're itching your neck, you look like a fucking crackhead. So if you get, that's the one you have to leave alone, right? The ones on your neck, you can scratch every other single one of them, and dude, like I don't want to get too into some personal details as to what I did this morning, but I've been waking up at like 3 or 4, like between 3 and 5 a.m. every morning, just because of how bad these things itch. Right, like the anti-itch stuff that I put on it wears off by then, I guess. So I wake up and I itch it, dude. And like when you're half awake like that, when you're not fully conscious, and you can't be like, you can't consciously resist that urge to scratch it, and you just start scratching it, dude. If you like, my dick got hard. I'm not like that is legitimately 100% the truth. It is early in the morning, and I am a young guy, so my dick is usually hard in the morning. But this is like my dick was soft, and it got fully erect from me itching these bug bites, dude. Like full on. I'm not talking about a 3/4 mast. I'm talking about full on fucking, you know what I mean? A salute, dude. That fucking Nazi Hitler salute. Like that's what my dick did when I was scratching these bug bites. It felt amazing. It felt incredible. And that's the thing, dude. Once you scratch that itch, it's hard to stop doing it. It's hard to stop scratching that itch. That's why you got to get the anti-itch spray, and that's why you have to consciously resist it, dude. And you can't relapse. I understand there's always that chance of relapsing, but you got to ignore the relapse. You can't be relapsing on itching, dude. Relapsing on itching might be worse than relapsing on like meth. It might end up worse, dude. Because the downside of itching is like now your arms have like scabs and stuff, right? The downside of relapsing on meth is like you lose everything, right? So I feel like relapsing on itch and mosquito or chigger bites or tick bites or whatever the fuck you got. If you got flea bites or bed bug bites, that's a bigger problem. That has that's that's something you got to face, dude. That's like a lifestyle choice. That happened to you because of the way you live your everyday life, right? It's not like a mosquito bite where it's like you walk outside and you're just at the mercy of nature. Like if you got flea bites or bed bug bites, I hate to break it to you, you gotta start watching Jordan Peterson or Andrew Tate or one of like those red pill guys because you gotta start cleaning your room if you're getting bed bug bites. But I've never gotten bed bugs before. Maybe I got like a little bit of fleas before when I was younger, but nothing too bad. But I mean, just itching, dude. It feels so good to itch. It's a son of a bitch itching is, dude. It's a son of a bitch. It just feels so good, and it's always like the opportunity's always right there, dude. Like if you want to do crack or whatever, you got to drive up into like the city or whatever. You got to ask around, find a guy that'll sell you crack. But like itching, dude, the temptation to itch, the indulgence into that addiction, that addiction. I was trying to find a way to combine the words itch and addiction. But I mean, it's always right there. You don't got to go anywhere. You don't got to, buy a lighter or buy like a meth pipe or what. You can just itch it right away. And I think that's the hardest part about it, dude. You're always in the environment. Like if you're addicted to heroin or whatever, you can like kind of move to a more rural area where it might be harder to get it, dude. But if you're itching, it's like it's always right there, dude. I don't even need to go to a dealer. I don't need to fucking drive anywhere. I don't need to get any money to do it. I can just itch it right away. And that's the worst part about the itching, dude. It's always right there, tempting you, dude. That little devil on your shoulder, dude. I get it. Sometimes the devil on your shoulder can make you do some erratic things sometimes, but this devil, it's a powerful devil, and it's always right there. It never goes away, dude. The itching devil. And sometimes the itching devil is a itching angel, right? Especially for chigger bites, because yeah, I might as well read a fact about chiggers real quick. So chiggers, where's this? So the itching is caused by larvae burrowing into the skin and feeding on the skin cells, and the itching is usually occurs because of like the detachment of the chigger larvae. So it like gets in there, digs around a little bit, makes itself like a nice little burrow, and then it falls out, and that's when it starts to itch. But it can itch before it falls out, right? Because it'll be like a so it gets in there, right? Obviously, it's a little larvae, and it causes like inflammation and stuff on your skin, but it doesn't really itch as bad as when they fall out. And so when you itch it though, that helps cause the detachment of the larvae. And so they recommend that you don't itch it, but that you like scrub it with soap and water to get the fucking larvae out. But I guess itching's kind of like that, dude. It's like a step away from, it's how our ancestors did it. If you want to live that ancestral lifestyle, don't clean out your chigger bites with fucking soap and water. Just itch them with your fucking grimy nails. Itch them with your dirt-filled nails and just get the fuck in there, dude. Give yourself a nice skin infection. Give yourself a nice skin infection and just get in there with your long fucking, you know what I mean, nasty nails, your nails that smell like actual shit. And that's what I'm talking about with the itching angel. Sometimes it can be an angel that just gets rid of like all the larvae under there, and that makes it so much worse. That makes it, I didn't know that. I thought it was like adult like chiggers, like they would all group up on you real quick and like suck your blood or whatever and then dip. I didn't know that it was like larvae burrowing into your skin. But I've never had a problem with that, like mentally. Like, especially for a little one like this, like, I guess it makes it a little bit creepier and a little bit weirder. Obviously, for like one of those big bot flies or whatever, and there's like basically a worm under your skin, yeah, that's freaky. But this, I don't know if it makes it that much worse. It just makes it like a touch worse. It's like, man, there's something living in my skin. But then you remember, like, there's shit living all over your skin, so it's not that big of a deal. But it is, if you're one of those people that has like a major problem with things like that, like, I don't know, you're obsessed with your skin. Which, so if you're racist, if you're obsessed with skin, that might be a little bit of a problem for you. But for me, it's like, I don't know. I've had so many chigger bites already that it's like, I don't. I know it's not gonna fucking burrow inside of me and pop out like the movie Alien or whatever. I know it's just gonna like chill in there for a little bit. But yeah, no, a larvae like a botfly larvae that probably would fuck me up. It fucks most people up, dude. Like, what's that? There's like some kind of like toad or frog or something that lives in either Australia or South America. I think it's South America, but it's like that frog where like the babies of the frog live inside of the fucking skin of the like the mom frog, or like that shit fucks me up. Like, I cannot watch that. I look at that and just something about it. Like, what's it? Trypophobia, I think, is the name of that disease where or phobia, where you have like a irrational fear of like lots of little holes and shit. And it's like, dude, like the other things like that, like it like TikTok, like some 14-year-old will make like a thing of like, if you can't make it through this video, then you might have trypophobia. And it's like a picture of like a fucking honeybee nest or whatever, like a wasp's nest or something like that, or like a lotus seed pod, whatever the fuck it's called. And it's like a thing with a bunch of tiny little holes in it. Like, that shit doesn't fuck me up, but that frog, something about it, dude, it gives me the fucking shivers. Same with the open ocean. I've maybe talked about that before, but like just looking into like a bottomless ocean or looking out into the ocean and you can't see anything, that just, I mean, it scares the fuck out of me. It's just like that deep blue, and it just freaks. Like, I think about it and like I get scared. That's what really scares the fuck out of me. Speaking of scary things, I watched that movie Annihilation last night. It's Yeah, it's a little bit freaky, but I don't know. I didn't find that one that scary. Maybe because it's all chicks, right? And something about watching a horror movie, or I guess it's not that much of a horror, but it's supposed to be scary. It's like a horror slash sci-fi type of thing. And something about them being all chicks like makes me less scared. I got something about like, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm like subconsciously I'm like, oh well, they're just gonna make all the wrong decisions anyway. So ipso facto, I'm not scared of it anymore. Like, maybe that's why I wasn't super scared of it and never have been. But it is freaky, especially at the very end when she goes into the fucking lighthouse or whatever, and it's playing like all that music and like all the faces are like morphing and stuff. That did freak me out. That was, even though they're chicks, but very rarely I am an incel, so obviously I don't have empathy for women. But that did freak me the fuck out. But yeah, most horror movies, they don't get to me too much, you know what I mean? It does give me a general feeling of, like, paranoia for the next couple of days, especially in, like, the dark. It fucks me up a little bit, but yeah, like, I don't know, I'm over it pretty quickly usually. Like, the most that'll happen is I throw the blankie over my head when I go to sleep. I know some people are like, "If I watch a horror movie, I have to sleep with the lights on," and in those people's defense, I basically do sleep with the light on every night because I have the TV on when I fall asleep. But usually, the most that'll happen to me is, like, I hold in my piss, throw the blankie over my head, and I wake up, and the next day, I'm fine. And also, I watch them mostly at night, and I feel like that makes it worse. Like, I'm one of those people, I need a fuck ton of sleep to be able to function normally. Like, every night, I need, like, 80 hours of sleep. I don't know what it is. I might have mono. I might have been the first person to ever get mono and never having kissed anyone before, but I don't know. I need, like, a fuck ton of sleep, and when I'm sleepy or when I don't get enough sleep, I get, like, jumpy. I get, like, paranoid. Like, my fucking caveman brain or my monkey brain or whatever you wanna call it, like, fully activates, and it's like, "Fuck, dude, there might be something around that corner." It might be something might be trying to get you real quick. And that I am a good meal. I am a nice meal, I do have to say, so maybe that's part of it. Like, I know, like, if you're, like, a big, tall, like, jack dude, and you're in really good shape and you got, like, nice hard muscles, like, maybe that you're not as much of a meal for an animal to eat, like, but I'm a good meal, dude. I'm a nice little fucking, pork slider for that thing to munch down on. I've got a decent amount of fat, but I'm not like a Wagyu where it's just, like, pure fat inside of me, I got a little bit of muscle, a little bit of fat, nice and bite-sized, you know what I mean? I'm about 5'2", 5'1" on a good day, and so I'm a nice little treat, nice little thing you can munch down on real quick. I'm a nice little Snickers bar running around for whatever alien or demon lands on Earth and is trying to munch me, dude. I'm a good little snack, dude. I'm just a nice little real quick, I'm like the candy bars at the grocery store. You know what I mean? I'm maybe not the main target, but hey, they'll munch down on me. You know what I mean? The Loch Ness monster, Bigfoot, or whatever, he'll definitely eat me. I'm not like a nice 6-course sushi meal or whatever, but fuck it. Everyone likes a Snickers bar, everyone likes a Twix. Munch down on that thing real quick. It's a little extra calories. I've got a few extra calories on me. You know what I mean? But I do feel like I'd be a pretty good meal for a supernatural creature to devour or a regular creature. I feel like a bear would probably enjoy eating me, you know, not too much bonage. I do have pretty big bones. I do have like a pretty big frame, you know what I mean? And so that might be a little bit difficult, but there are certainly parts that you could like munch on me without getting a bite of bone in there. Like if you're a grizzly bear or whatever, like you could take a nice big like bite out of my thigh. I got some thick thighs that a grizzly bear would probably have a nice time munching on. A nice little Renaissance fair turkey leg or something like that. Like that's what my leg is to a grizzly bear. It's a nice little meal. My torso, maybe not so much, especially like because I have like a ring of fat around my lower abdomen, and I feel like a lot of dudes probably do. That's like I think they say that's like the hardest weight to lose. But then up top, like you can kind of see my ribs a little bit, not like fully, but you can see like the muscle that's under there and stuff. And every once in a while, like when I'm stretching, you can see the ribs down there. And so I feel like my torso probably isn't the best part of me to eat just because it's like you're either getting fat or you're getting nothing, you know? And then my arms, I got some decently sized arms. My delt is like a nice little, just a finisher real quick, like the last thing you eat on the meal. But yeah, I think my thighs are probably the best part of me to eat. So if you're a cannibal listening to this and you wanna know what it's like to taste manlet thighs, I mean, I'm probably the one of the better fucking targets for that. One of the better accoutrements. One of the better meals you could have if you're a cannibal that wants to eat manlet thighs. Because I got the muscle down there, got a bit of fat, not a whole ton of fat. I do have a flat butt, so maybe that might be a deterrent from a cannibal eating me. I do have a pretty flat butt, but I mean the butt. It's also there's some muscle in there, some fat in there. Same with the thighs. The calves not so much. If I was gonna eat me, I would not be eating my calves. My calves are like I've never had like some people. You look at these people that are like in pretty. They're not like in awful shape, you know what I mean? But they have like fat fucking calves. I don't have that all at all. Like my calves are like there's there's no fat on my calves at all, and so I wouldn't recommend eating that part of me. It's probably pretty sinewy. I do walk a lot. I'll jog every once in a while, so it's probably not the best part of me to eat. It's like kind of overworked a little bit. There's not a whole ton of fat, but I think my thighs. My thighs are probably a good target. It's a nice combination of fat and muscle. Like my arms. My arms, I don't have like a ton of fat. Like barely, like for how big I am, I don't really have that much fat on my arms. But my thighs, nice even distribution there. And so I feel like that's the part of my body that I would eat if I was a cannibal. Shit comes to fuck, I die in the plane crash, like that might be one of those things. Some people have an organ donor on their, driver's license or whatever. Not me, dude. Not I would not. I'm gonna replace that with, if I die and we're in a dire circumstance, there's no food anywhere, and someone needs to eat the thighs first. That's the part of my body I'd recommend 100%, dude. Like I'm a cannibal sommelier. I know what the fuck is going on with the cannibals. I do get it a little bit, the whole cannibalism thing, because that is, it's the forbidden fruit. It's the one thing that you're not allowed to eat, human meat. And so I think about it a fair bit. Like, what is the best part of a person? Like, I feel like the titty, like a nice chick titty, that would not be a good part of a person to eat, because it's like it's fat and there's like the mammary ducts in there. And nowadays also with the titty implants getting more real and real, like we talked about with Hunter Schafer, you know what I mean? Trans male to female transport. She's got the implants, but they look pretty real. They like, but that's the other part of that, right? The other downside of eating titty meat is you might get like a big old bite of like silicone or whatever the fuck whatever new material they're using. Like that's Hunter Schafer. If you're listening to this, and I know that you are, I need an interview. I need to know what fucking those tits are made out of, because it's truly incredible. I might put a link to the Instagram video that I watched with Hunter Schafer's tits, because it's a natural jiggle on there. Because usually you can tell, you know what I mean. The Kardashians, they're kind of like the pioneers of plastic surgery. Like they got like that hard fucking like rock silicone or plastic or whatever they use in like their face and their butts and their tits. But Hunter Schafer, she waited it out. You know what I mean. She didn't buy low like the Kardashians. She bought high, and fuck, she got rewarded for it. Because these are some very, very real looking titties. But I wouldn't eat them. You know what I mean? I wouldn't. Microplastics in my titty meat, dude. That's the last thing I want. Whatever harvestable titty meat is on there, there's going to be a ton of microplastics in there. So, yeah, if I was in a plane crash, I would not eat a trans woman's tits, probably. Face, same with the face. Like all these chicks nowadays, a lot of them got like Botox and filler and stuff, and that shit's like insanely poisonous, right? Like the fucking Botox it's like a byproduct of a bacteria or something like that. And it's like the most poisonous fucking material on earth. It's not venomous, right? And that's why it doesn't kill people when you put it in them, right? Like when you inject it into their face or whatever, it doesn't kill them. But like if you ingest it, even the smallest amount, it kills you like instantly, dude. It's the most poisonous thing on earth. And so if you're in a plane crash or whatever, your plane crashes in the Rockies or the fucking Himalayas or whatever, and you're like, fuck, we're gonna need to eat someone. Look out for plastic surgery, because if you see someone with any plastic surgery at all on them, I'd avoid that person, wholesale. I'd say I would not eat any part of that person's body just to be safe, because you never know. All these new fucking beauty trends or whatever the fuck they want to call them, Dr. Miami cooking up whatever ridiculous plastic surgery he can he can think of, they might be injecting Botox into every single part of their body. So I would say play it safe. And if you see even a hint of plastic surgery on any of these people, don't be munching, dude. Go for like a nice poor person, like a nice poor fucking, white bread like West Virginia chick that can't afford any of that plastic surgery. That's what I'd go for. Classism, the elites are even protected during cannibalism, dude, because they all have all the plastic surgery in the fucking world. And so you can't munch them, dude. You can't, you go to like kill like fucking Jeff Bezos' wife or whatever, and you're roasting a leg over a fire, and you're like, damn, dude, this is gonna be delicious. And then you bite into that, what's her name? It's like Martinez or something like that. You bite into that Jeff Bezos' wife leg, and you get a big old fucking hunk of silicone in there. It sucks. I'm not saying don't kill him. You know what I mean? Kill that lady, obviously, if you have the chance. Jeff Bezos wouldn't care though. He would. He would not give 1/10 of a fuck. If his wife was assassinated right now, he'd be remarried within a week. He might have multiple wives right now, for all we know, dude. He might be a bit of a Muhammad. He might have. My guess would be he has at least 10 to 12 women right now that are like lined up just in case whatever his wife's name is now, dies in a plane crash and I end up eating her. He's got at least 10 to 12 chicks, in a stable. He's got like a stable of fucking surgery faced suburban white chicks that he can instantly replace his wife with. So, yeah, eat Bezos' wife. That's a good plan. But you got to look out for the plastic surgery. No matter what, if you see a hint of them on it, I wouldn't eat it, right? It's like mold on bread. They say if you see mold on like bread or cheese or whatever, you got to throw out the whole loaf or the block of cheese or whatever it is, because the mold can spread even if you don't see it. You know what I mean? Like the spores of the mold, the mycelium of the mold can spread even if you're not even if it's not visible on certain parts of the bread or the cheese or whatever. And that's, you got to apply that to people too, right? It's like the plastic surgery, who knows? Botox might like spread throughout the whole body. So you got to be careful there, play it safe. Don't munch any part of them. The brain could be safe, Like if that person's already dead, it's like you should probably munch the brain, turn the brain into a nice soup or a stew, or just drink it straight up, straight out of the head, basically, right? The head's already kind of a cup, so you just drink the brain straight out of there, but don't eat the muscles on it, right? Because that might have some Botox or some kind of like weird silicone or whatever the fuck they're using nowadays, dude. So don't be munching anyone that you see even a sign of plastic surgery on. That would be my number one tip for a plane crash. My number two tip for a plane crash: just get blackout drunk, dude. That's tip number two, especially on the first day. Like the first day, you're not going to be setting up like a long-term civilization or anything like that. And also on the first day is like immediately they send the planes out looking for them. It's like 48 hours or whatever. Like the first 48 hours is when they find missing people. I don't know if that applies to plane crashes as much, but on the first day, just get blackout drunk. Immediately fucking find the cart or whatever. I don't care if you're 10 years sober. Just throw them back, dude. Throw back the little wine bottles or little whiskey bottles that they have on that fucking drink cart. Just get blackout drunk for the first day. That would be my other recommendation. And also, it gets a nice community bond going. And also, if you get blackout drunk and someone kills someone else, which, I mean, probably would happen in a plane crash if I had to guess, then no one knows who killed anyone. It was the first day anyway. Someone was gonna get killed. Something was gonna go down in the first day. So, yeah, that would be my number two tip. Just immediately hit the bottle, dude. Pretend you're like a dude from Ohio whose metal manufacturing job got moved overseas to like China or India or whatever, and just start hitting the bottle as as hard as you can. Sorry, I don't know why I'm coughing, dude. The Chiggers got into my throat too, dude. No mercy for my throat, dude. The most famous Burt Kreischer's favorite porn video. No mercy for my throat. But the Chiggers, they must have infected it in there. And my first Chigger fact, or I guess the second Chig fact of the day, is that they tend to live in wet, low-lying vegetation. And that's how I got my Chiggers, or my Chigs. Sorry. Apologies to the Chig community. But that's how I got them. Because I was doing some yard work for my grandpa, and his grass, he fucking takes good care of his grass, dude. My grandpa's like the goat of suburban perfectionism. Like his grass, it's super like you could play golf on this shit. I've never played golf before. I've never been to a golf course in my life, but if I had to guess, this is the type of grass that you want to be playing golf on. It's like super thick, like insanely fucking. I don't know how it's so thick. Like my grass here, it covers the whole thing. It's like healthy grass, but it's not like as thick as his and I'm sure I think he uses like bluegrass or whatever. We just have whatever fucking grass grows here. But my grandpa, he uses like bluegrass or whatever, and it's like so thick. It's like the thickest fucking, you know what I mean? It's like a black lady's hair or something. It's insanely thick. And he also obviously like waters it every single day. And so it's like ripe for chigs to be in there. They're just crawling around there waiting for a grandson to be on all fours spreading mulch or whatever. Like that's what the Chiggers wanted. I was a wide open buffet. I was an all you can eat buffet that was completely free. So I can't even blame him. I can't be that mad at him. If I was a Chig, I'd be doing the same thing, but I am a little bit pissed on it. I am ready to commit a genocide, dude. I'm feeling real Israeli right now, dude. I'm feeling like we need to wipe these things out, dude. This is my land. You don't get to live here. I'm going to settle this land and I'm going to kill all of you, dude. I'm feeling real Israeli. I'm feeling Israeli right now, dude, because I'm getting ready to commit an absolute bombing, dude. Carpet bomb the fucking suburbs. Take out all the chiggers you can. I don't care how much collateral damage we have to deal with. If fucking, a million Palestinian children can die, I'm fine with losing a few people in the suburbs. Maybe that'll bring some, economic equality along with it too. But just fucking destroy them, dude. Carpet bomb that whole thing. I don't care what Geneva Convention you're breaking. Destroy it all, dude. I wish Iran had a nuke. If Iran had a nuke right now, I would put it right in the middle of that, in the fucking suburbs where all the chiggers live in that grass, and I'd fucking blow it up. I'd destroy everything. That's who we need to be facing right now, dude. Humanity, a lot of people talk about, like, if aliens invaded, then humanity would unite to fight against the aliens. The aliens are already here. This evil, demonic, fucking supernatural, disgusting creature is already here. And it's not an alien. It's not fucking E.T., you know what I mean? It's not, Godzilla or whatever. It's not the fucking things from Pacific Rim. It's chiggers. And we need to destroy every single fucking one of them. We need to kill them all. In fact the second about chiggers, dude, I'm presenting like it's a fucking case, dude. I'm presenting this like it's a legal case. A legal case against the chigger community. We need to destroy them. Chiggers and jiggers. Hey, I didn't make up the name. This is just what they're calling them, right? And something about that, dude. When people hate something, they give it a name like that. Chiggers and jiggers. And then there's the other one. There's the big one. But something about it, when they hate something, when something really is pissing them off, they give it a name like that for some reason. They are not the same thing. If you were thinking the same thing, hey, they not like us, all right? That's what the chigs are saying. The chigs are saying the jigs are not like us. And can you guys like believe that? I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but during the Super Bowl, Kendrick Lamar called Drake a pedophile. It's crazy. Like, I don't even know how that happened. That's my new favorite thing to do, dude. That's a bit that I stole from the podcast War Mode, where it's like they'll randomly bring up the whole Will Smith thing. Like, can you believe that fucking happened? Like, I do it with the fact that, because people freak the fuck. It's like one of those things, right? Like when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars or whatever. The Kendrick Lamar calling Drake a pedophile at this. It's like the exact. People are like, oh my god, can you believe that? Can you believe that he did that? That's crazy. Oh my god, I could never believe that something would happen like that in this country. That's so insane. It's like, dude, people are dying in the fucking street. Like, this is America. We are like the global leader in just about fucking everything. And people are like dying, literally dying in the streets, dude. Veterans who fought for this country are dying in the streets, but you can't believe that a guy called another guy a pedophile. That's something that I do constantly. I do that every single day. I might have done it on this podcast already. I do it every single day. I'm like, yeah, that guy's a pedophile. Especially with famous people. I view them all as pedophiles. It's not that crazy to me. Same with the whole Will Smith slapping Chris Rock thing. It's like, yeah, every Hollywood actor is mentally unstable. This was just a different iteration of mental instability within, the fucking Hollywood actor, whatever the fuck, Hollyweird cult, that weird, bubble that they all live in. It's just a different representation of that. Usually what they do is they beat pedophiles because they're insane, or they, beat a woman to death, or they rape someone, or do something like that. This was just a different, like Harvey Weinstein, like 2 years before this whole fucking, Me Too scandal came out, where it turned out that literally every woman in Hollywood was being raped 24/7. If people are like, can you believe that guy slapped that other guy? Yeah, I can believe it. They just told us that every single dude in Hollywood is a rapist. Yeah, I can believe that a guy slapped another. It's not, especially because it was probably fake. Like, I don't know. I could very, very easily believe that. I have no problem with that. That doesn't clash with my sense of reality in any way, shape. It actually reaffirms my sense of reality, especially regarding Hollywood. It takes nothing away from that. It's actually, I'm surprised it hasn't happened more. But, I mean, the chigs, dude. So, chigs are more closely related to ticks, whereas the jigs are more closely related to fleas. And yeah, those are just two tough ones, dude. I hate them both. I hate them all. Any insect like that, dude. It's just something about an insect having any, like, sway in my life just pisses me off, dude. Right? It's like this dumb little fucking thing, this dumb little thing that I can't even see is causing me all this grief in life. Like that's probably one of the reasons why I hate him so much. It's like I should be telling you what time it is, dude. Like this is what it must feel like being like a dude who knows like MMA or jujitsu or something, but like not being able to beat everyone's ass all the time. Like it just must feel exactly like that. Right? Like that's how like fucking, you know, one of these UFC fighters is getting like yelled at by his wife, and it's like I could destroy you, dude. Like I am, I could fucking, and some of them do. Some of them do. John Jones especially, he does give into that. He does give into that urge a little bit. He's been known to throw women through walls and shit. They're not fighting that urge too hard, but like that's just how I feel about the chicks, dude. I'm like, I could destroy you, dude. I should be destroying you. I care about nature. I'm studying environmental science right now. That's what maybe my career will be if I can ever find a fucking job. Right? Is environmental science. I'm trying to fucking help you, and all you're doing is you're biting me. That's how I feel about the chicks, dude. And the chicks, I mean, at least you can see a flea. Like, you can see a flea with your naked eye. Like, when you're petting your dog or whatever, you can see it jump and you're like, oh, fuck, my dog's got fleas. Chigs are not like that, dude. The chigs are nearly microscopic at 1/60th, not 1/16th, 1/60th of an inch. It's tiny. It's the smallest fucking thing. It's the smallest thing. And it's just destroying me. It's literally, my skin is peeling from my fucking butt. My arm is going to fall off, dude, because of a thing that's 1/60th of an inch, right? Like if a bear or a shark or something took my arm off, okay, fair play, dude. You're a shark. I'm in the water. I'm in your fucking house right now. Bite my arm off, fuck with me. Hey, that's on me. I'll take credit where credit is due. Or a grizzly bear. Yeah, I'm hiking in the middle of the woods where no one lives, and fucking animals run free and wild and do whatever the fuck they want. Yeah, I might get munched by a grizzly bear. Not the end of the world. But a chigger, dude, I'm in suburbia. The pinnacle of humans, of the human being, domination over nature. That's what the suburbs are. It's not the cities, it's the suburbs. There's this pure, massive expanse of human controlled territory. And you're fucking in there, dude. I created this thing. Humanity created the suburbs. The United States created the suburbs to subjugate nature, to fucking destroy nature, bend it to our will, and show it what the fuck time it is. And you're still here hiding in the fucking grass like the coward you are. I will replace every single fucking inch of grass in the suburbs with AstroTurf on it, dude. I will fucking destroy the world to get rid of chiggers. I hate them so much. But I do have to give them credit. I know I just went off on them for a little bit. The chiggers, like I said, microscopic or nearly microscopic. You can't really see them. But they do have a chrome orange color. And if you don't know what chrome orange is, it's a very sick color. You got to look it up. I have to give him credit where credit is due, dude. I know I just went off on him. I know I said I'd kill all of them. I still hold that sentiment near and dear to my heart. They are a pretty sick color, dude. Like, mosquitoes are pretty boring color. They're like black and gray and white and stuff. Same with ticks. But the chiggers, they got like a cool color. I have to give them credit where credit is due. Of the pests, of the small biting insects, they probably do look the coolest. They're probably the sickest looking. Maybe like an ant. Maybe there's like a pretty cool ant out there that like bites people that looks pretty sick. But as of right now, as far as I go, or as far as I know, as far as my knowledge reaches, chiggers are the coolest looking of the little biting insects. They're the worst. They itch the most. They're the fucking most bitch ass of all of them. But they do look the sickest, dude. And here's the thing, dude. This is a problem that starts in childhood. A lot of problems, when people grow up to be murderers or whatever, psychopaths or whatever, it usually traces back to something in childhood, right? And that's why we have to take more care of our children. Career criminals and stuff. You look up all these guys, any of these guys, they all had, incredibly traumatic childhoods. And that applies to the chiggers as well, because it's the chigger kids that are doing this, dude. It's not the adults. It's the adults have stopped disciplining their children, and now their children are burrowing into my skin, dude. that's what's happening here. The chiggers, they became politically correct. They got woke real quick, and they stopped fucking beating their kids, and now their kids are digging into my skin and making me fucking want to itch it all day. Because adult chiggers, they feed on plant material. So these people that are abandoning their kids to go feed on plant, they're the millennials of insects, dude. They're the millennials of fucking pestilent insects, dude. They just abandon their kids. They give their kids a fucking iPad. They say, hey, see that pale fucking that pale frumpy guy, in the grass spreading mulch? Go bite him while I go chew on some fucking plants. That's what the chiggers are doing, dude. They're putting their kids in front of Coco Melon, and now my skin is getting burrowed into, because the adults, they just abandon the kids and go eat grass or whatever. It's like, dude, take your kids to eat grass with you. Stop making your kids my fucking problem. All right, chiggers, listen here. God damn it, that sounded really racist. I'm talking about insects here, dude. I'm talking about small biting insects. Just to clear things up. I don't know if they're insects. I think they're like arachnids or some shit like that. I don't know. I didn't look it up. And then also, another awful fact is that chigger species can be found virtually everywhere humans live. So they're not in like the deserts or like the Arctic Circle or whatever, but literally everywhere else, everywhere where there's plants or grass or water or fucking fat people like me. The chiggers are there, and they're hiding in the shadows, waiting to munch on some skin, dude. Waiting to get in there and just go hog wild, dude. It's like it's a fucking buffet. It's a Chinese buffet, completely filled with orange chicken, and they love orange chicken, dude. They love it, dude. And they're just getting in there and burrowing in there and munching on my skin, dude. Eating it all, and I don't even have that good of skin, dude. I get I do moisturize my arms, but like my legs and stuff, I do not moisturize my legs. I do moisturize like my torso. I don't know, just because I don't want it to itch or whatever. I completely neglect my legs. So maybe I need to start doing that to my arms and stuff too. Just completely neglect them. I don't even wash my arms. I haven't washed. I take horse baths basically every single time I shower. I'm just pits, gooch and butt, dick and balls, and armpits. That's the only thing I wash in the shower. So maybe I need to stop moisturizing my arms and stuff too. I don't wash my face either. Like all these chicks. This is something that pisses me off about women, dude. A 5 foot tall incel is speaking. Listen and learn. Like every single woman has like a 19-step skincare routine that costs them $1,000 a month. And it's like, yeah, you don't need to do all that. Just stop wearing makeup and stop scrubbing the skin off of your face. Like that's what they do. Like all these exfoliating soaps or whatever, you're scrubbing a layer of skin. Basically, it's dead skin, but it's skin nonetheless. And you're also scrubbing off like all the oils and shit off your skin. It's like, yeah, if you just stop doing that, your skin would look fine. If you just stopped caking your face with petrochemicals every single day, which is what makeup is, there's nothing natural about makeup. If you just stopped doing that, your skin would look fine. If you just let your skin be skin, if you stop trying to fucking make your lips twice the size that they actually are, if you stop trying to make your skin look like a fucking porcelain doll or whatever, it's gonna be fine, and you're not gonna get pimples and shit, dude. Like I don't take any care of my face skin at all, and maybe I have a pimple here and there, but that's also because I'm young, probably. So stop scrubbing a layer off your skin, and stop immediately after you scrub that layer, stop putting fucking gasoline on your skin base. Stop doing that and your skin will be fine. Chicks, dude. Can't live with them, can't live without them. Can't live with them, can't live without. God, I hate I hate that shit, dude. I hate fucking like old school, like I don't even know what to call it, dude. Just the way those people like interact with women. Like I don't know. It just pisses me off. So yeah, chicks are gonna be yeah, they're gonna do shit sometimes. It's just like no. It's treat that person like just treat it like a dude. Look, and hey, maybe I'm not the one to listen to here, but just treat chicks like dudes. Right? Treat them how you'd treat a dude. Stop letting them do that shit, dude. Like if my boys were doing that, if I had a boy that was like, yeah, I need to scrub the fucking skin off my face every day, and then I need to cover it in lipstick and fucking whatever the fuck else they put on their skin, I'd be like, dude, stop doing that. That's the thing that's causing the problem. You're spending all this money to fix a problem that you're creating by spending money on it. Like I would say that to one of my boys. If that was the case, I have said shit to my boys. And chigger species, or wait, So in Southeast Asia and the Pacific, chiggers carry scrub typhus, and scrub typhus is a type of bacteria that can be fatal. It's like a skin disease that can like rot you from the inside out. And so that was like the one thing I had in favor of the chiggers is that they don't really spread disease, right? Like ticks spread Lyme disease, the fleas, those are like the pests that cause the bubonic plague. Mosquitoes, obviously, like malaria and whatever the fuck else they can get in there. And I thought at least chiggers would be safe from that. No, they can carry scrub typhus, which if you don't treat it can be fatal. So it's the only thing they had going in their favor is that they don't spread deadly diseases. Point gone. You're the worst one. I'll destroy all of you. And then the final fun fact, there is currently no plan to exterminate or eliminate chiggers. So we gotta get on that, dude. Stop giving money to Israel and start doing this shit, dude. If they were taking my tax dollars to build roads, give people free college, and give people health care, and most importantly, giving people or finding out a way to kill all the chiggers, I would be perfectly okay with it. I would be completely fine with it. But they're not, dude. They're giving it all to fucking Israel and goddamn Ukraine. I hate Ukraine so much, dude. I hate it. Pisses me off, everything about it. But I don't hate them more than chiggers. I don't. I just straight up, it's the worst thing. It's the worst thing in my life. And I don't carry that much of a grudge. There's nothing really that I carry a super heavy grudge against, but chiggers are one of them. Mosquitoes to a lesser extent, but that's because I live in like a temperate climate zone where like malaria doesn't really exist, so I don't carry as much of a hatred towards them. But chiggers, dude, the hatred for them will always be in my heart. You know, I can remember the first time I got them when I was a kid, and I learned about them for the first time. I was like, "What's wrong with me? I'm gonna die, dude." They attacked a child. They attacked the chiggers, dude. They're attacking children. They're causing the children pain, and we're not doing anything to get rid of them. They're pieces of shit, dude. They're horrible people. They don't take care of their kids. They cause everyone else pain. I hate them. They're the worst. They're the worst bug, I think. I think they're worse than wasps. I think they're worse than, yeah, there's not many stink bugs. Maybe not roaches. Roaches are pretty, just because of how big they are. That's what really makes me hate roaches, but it's like wasps probably are worse. Mosquitoes, obviously. Fleas, not so much anymore. Ticks, maybe not. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Roaches, like I said, and then I think chiggers. I think chiggers are easily a top 5 worst insect, and that's a tough. Insects suck, dude. They're the worst. I don't like all of them. The bees are disappearing. Good. I hate them. Get them out of there, dude. I don't need honey. I have high fructose corn syrup. I eliminated your entire purpose, dude. The one thing that bees are supposed to be good at, making sugar, we eliminated them. All right? Get them out. Get the bees out of here. I sure hope no one in my family's home right now. Because I'm just screaming. I didn't put up like a sound barrier or anything, but yeah, stay safe out there, dude. Stay safe from them. Wear your bug spray. They did say bug spray helps prevent them, so I'll use that one in the future. And if you don't have bug spray, if you're like I don't know, if you're an RFK and you're like, I don't want to wear bug spray, I need a natural treatment. They said like tea tree oil and lemon balm oil helps keep them away, so get that on your skin too. But by all means necessary, we must destroy them. It cannot exist. There is no two-state solution, all right? We need to destroy the chiggers. They need to all be dead as quickly as possible. It should be the number one concern in America right now. Whatever problem I am currently facing should be the main issue in America. That should be the main thing that we're spending money on, focusing all our political power on, is whatever issue I'm facing at the moment. But aside from that, I hope you have a good day, a good week, a good year, a good life. Hope you don't get bit by any insects, be they mosquitoes or fleas or chiggers or jiggers. And I hope we destroy the pestilence, dude. I hope we destroy them. And have a good day, good week, good year, good life, and I'll see you guys tomorrow or Thursday. I don't know what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, so it might be Thursday, but I'll see you guys then, and have a nice day. Peace.